Lance Pry, USA Radio News.
The following is an America Matters media production. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the station or its advertisers, although we think they should. But that's the opinion of America Matters Media.
This is not America. Sha-la-la-la-la. Little piece of you. A little piece of
It's Talking Truth to Power. I'm your host, Brendan Trainor. My co-host, Leland Faegre. And a beautiful, warm summer day.
Oh boy, is it. Amazing.
Yep.
Forget how warm it gets here.
Mm-hmm. So, what's new in the news this week, huh?
I don't think anything.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
We're
wrap up the show and go home.
We're heading into the dog month of August, so it's only going to get worse, folks.
We've got 111 days till the election now.
Okay, that's something to keep in mind. And the utter destruction.
It is destruction. Yeah, what we're witnessing is clearly destruction of the country.
The country, the world economy, who knows what.
Well, it's having that effect as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if we sneeze here, somebody catches a cold and somewhere else. So, but it is ugly looking.
Well, it's been 2 years since George Floyd went to Nehab.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's right. Huh? The anniversary was last week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we found out this week that Dr. Jill Biden is married to Pedo Pete, but she can't taco about it.
Oh, that's the writer in you. That's damn good. Is it taco or taco?
Taco?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Did I say taco?
I think
that's because I'm from New York.
Some pronounce it that way. Yeah.
Then, remember how Joe Biden fell off his bike a couple of weeks ago?
Uh-huh. I did hear
Well,
about
Google
that.
Maps.
It's now a monument.
Marked the spot. They're calling it Brandon Falls.
And I thought that was very funny for them to do that because they're in his camp.
I know.
So why would they do that?
Somebody has a sense of humor. Somebody left with a sense of humor over there.
Yeah.
He's on fire!
Yeah. Yeah, that was funny.
So, do you want to talk about Hunter Biden?
Sure. Thought you'd never ask.
Well, he had this problem with his laptop, among other things. Yes.
I wouldn't know that if I was watching the propaganda channels.
Yeah, if you were watching CNN
for the last couple years,
you wouldn't know a thing about it.
Nope.
No. So recently, one of his phones, his iPhone, I guess, was downloaded to the cloud. And there's this hacker's website called 4chan, and they claim they downloaded all of Hunter's phone backed up to the iCloud, and it was Hunter that in one of his messages called Brandon Pedo Pete.
Huh.
Is that your laptop?
For real, I don't know.
I know, but you know
I really don't know.
Okay.
The answer is
Could have been yours.
Of course, certainly. There could be a laptop out there that was stolen from me. There could be that I was hacked. It could be that it was Russian intelligence. It could be that it was stolen from me.
Any confusion will do, huh?
Exactly.
Because that crowd is so dumb. It'll work. Yeah.
And, there's all kinds of other salacious things in there. But the important thing is that it ties Hunter again to his father and his business dealings. And we've seen more and more information come up.
I thought he never talked about his business dealings with Hunter.
That's what we thought, too.
So you're saying that
Peter
he did?
Ducey asked about that,
So you're saying he did talk to his son about that?
Apparently he did, yeah. Maybe we'll have to investigate that.
Huh.
From this podium, I am not going to talk about alleged materials from the laptop.
Yeah.
Okay, Karine, if it's not in the binder, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly. Boy, isn't she a work of art, though?
Yes. So Biden is weighing small amounts of crack and, doing all kinds of things with Russian hookers that are beyond reproach, actually. I mean, nobody could blame him for that, but
Certainly not.
Scientifically possible!
Certainly not his father.
no. And then, of course, there are videos showing of old Joe back in the Senate days,
When he could think and talk at the same time.
and
that kind
yes,
of thing?
exactly.
Mhm.
And he was the one that pushed the cocaine disparity laws into effect,
Mhm.
and they weren't racist at the time, that it was only later we found out they might be racist.
It sort of morphed into racism.
Yeah. But he was
Because that's a subtle thing.
he held up a quarter and he said, anybody that has small amounts of crack possession the size of this quarter will result in 5 years in prison.
He was tough in those days.
Oh,
wasn't
yeah, he could sure say a tough line, boy.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
Uh-huh.
I was going to put him.
I'll say this, as scary as it is and as ugly as it looks out there on the
Yeah.
political landscape, he has sure brought us some funny stuff, hasn't he?
He sure has. So things are not going well for the Biden administration, surprisingly, because everybody thought he would bring everything back to normal after Trump left. But there's a new
Because the
normal
adults
now.
were in charge?
Yeah, because the adults were in charge, exactly. So now we find out that Senator Manchin killed the Green New Deal. And of course, the Democrats, like John Podesta, came out and said, he is single-handedly dooming humanity. Of course, Podesta has never done a single thing to put
No.
humanity in jeopardy.
No, of course not.
Oh, hell no!
But, you have to murder humanity in order to save the bugs.
I'm
Now,
sorry?
You have to kill off humanity in order to preserve
Oh, that's
the
right,
bugs.
because we're going to be eating bugs in the future. aren't we?
Say what?
No, because bugs are better than us. We're the blight on the earth, not the bug.
We're also going to be eating them, according to
Oh,
Bill
yeah.
Gates. So.
I just saw a picture of a bug pizza here. It was pretty disgusting.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, cricket
I thought
pizza.
you were going to say it looked good.
No, I'm not going to say.
Speaking of crickets.
Want to expand your advertising dollar? Sponsor this or any America Matters program by calling 775-827-8900, extension 2. Now, back to the show.
Things are just still looking down for Biden and his administration.
Is it?
Yeah, his wife is very upset. She said, I had such high hopes. She really, really wanted to be the first
She
lady.
thinks about these things.
Yeah. But, my husband, they had all kinds of problems, nothing but problems.
Well, it all came to him all at one time, It's like he didn't realize all that stuff was going to happen.
Nobody told him that the presidency was a high, fast work environment.
Uh-huh.
He's used to hanging out in the basement.
Well, it's laughable because, there's what's that Washington Post reporter? I can't think of his name, but he's blaming his negative poll numbers on negative media coverage.
Oh.
Can you imagine such a thing?
Yeah, somebody confronted Biden about the polls, and he kind of pushed back on him. But it's like
You guys are all the same, Jack.
Yeah. Anyway, the Dems started. Biden is like the Lion King. He's old and frail. His ribs are starting to show. He can't hunt as well anymore. And, some young lions are coming growling at the door, roaring for his job.
When he's not around.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Are you talking about Matthew McConaughey?
Well, that's another one. Now, Andrew Yang is pushing him for the presidency in 2024. Yeah.
Interesting, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Inconceivable!
He's probably the last on the establishment's list at the moment.
Right.
Because they don't want to bring him forward, They're keeping him there. But,
yeah, they're pushing...
but that's their ace up the sleeve.
They're pushing J.B. Pritzker.
But
Governor
that's absolute fantasy.
Yeah, he's not going to get anywhere.
He's lucky to be governor again.
Gavin Newsom?
Too much baggage.
He's handsome enough, I guess.
But he's too much baggage. Yeah. The American people have had it with California's, mindset. They don't want California to come to Indiana.
The California's going to Florida and Texas, but they're not going to come to Indiana.
But that was just chump change.
Uh-huh.
What was it, just $1 million or something on those ads? It was just to test the market, just to see where it was.
And, of course, there's always Pete Buttigieg because he's got that new project called Momentum.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what he calls it.
Oh, hell no!
You learn these kind of things when you're a transportation secretary. See, you and I wouldn't have thought of that.
What did Kamala say? It's about getting to one place to another and back again?
And back again.
Which is why we will work together and continue to work together to address these issues, to tackle these challenges, and to work together as we continue to work
together,
operating from the new norms, rules, and agreements that we will convene to work together on to galvanize global action. With that, I thank you all. This is a matter of urgent priority for all of us, and I know we will work on this together.
In the course of the passage of time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's mastered the soundbite, hasn't she?
She sure has. But Biden's not the only one because
we should do a poll on the show just to see who's more funny, Harris or Biden. See who wins.
Mike Pence is backstabbing Donald Trump.
Yeah, I think he's forever changed because of his association with Trump. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think he'll ever, come out of that neocon mold now.
Yeah. I mean, he was always in it. I mean, he always, Trump would say we'd have to get along with Putin, and then Pence would come up and say we have to, sanction Russia and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That get along mindset.
What am I doing here?
Yeah.
So,
but it's over for him.
Yeah. Well, he's trying. He's trying to make a comeback.
Yeah, but it's
he's pro-choice now. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So he's basically an Obama Republican now.
I see.
He's hoping that those suburban Republican women will swoon for him.
Oh, okay. Were those some of the ones that got arrested yesterday?
For the demonstration?
Yeah.
And they were put in invisible handcuffs.
Yeah, they were cuffed.
Well, But Pence is backing the Republican Democrat Karen Taylor Robson in the Arizona gubernatorial primary against the Trump candidate, who we've also shouted out to here, Carrie Lake.
Oh, yeah. And Carrie Lake is far and away an extraordinary candidate. I mean, if I were there, I'd have signs on my yard for her. That's something else there. She's a female Trump is what she is.
Yeah. And so, we'll just have to see. But I think Pence is going to get his nose bloodied there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder what they have on him. It's pretty interesting. If I were him, I would have just stayed aloft somewhere, stayed out of it.
He joined one of those, I think, the Heritage Foundation. He has the think tank job.
Right. I did see that.
Mm-hmm. But, yep. So Mike Pence wants to make a run for the presidency.
I don't think that's legitimate either.
Nah.
I don't think he really wants that job. He knows he can't get it. That would be the first thing. But I think it's just designed to give Trump some competition because the entire world does. our enemies on the entire face of the planet don't want him to become the nominee for president.
No.
He's on fire!
But the White House is thrilled because gasoline prices started to come down.
Yeah, that's because the economy is slowing.
Exactly.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
Nothing to get excited about there.
So we've had 2 months now of a negative gross product growth.
It's not official yet, but it looks like it is. And but with prices falling in the summer months like this, that reveals that the economy is slowing, because that doesn't happen in a normal summer.
But at least Joe is doing well on the foreign policy front.
Is he?
Yeah, sure.
See, that's me as Bud Abbott playing the dumb guy for you.
Well, he went on a triumphant tour of the Middle East.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
this is about the future of the liberal world order, and we have to stand firm.
Well, that's what he was doing. He was standing firm. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, nobody else was standing with him, really. So everybody made a big deal because he fist bumped MSBs, trying to bump up the oil production there.
Mm-hmm. Not a chance in hell, is it?
No. I saw New Zealand, a meeting, and they were all wearing masks. The government, the Prime Minister, Ardern was there, and then all these dignitaries were there, and they all came in, and they all had masks on, and they all did this, the shoulder, the forearm bump that we were doing 2 years ago.
That's because there's a new variant on the planet. And it's very contagious.
Very, very contagious. Yeah. There might be 1 million cases.
Phil Lesh was supposed to be here at the lake this weekend.
Phil
Lesh, the old Grateful Dead.
Oh, okay.
Artist with his new band of people, and he came down with COVID last weekend. But apparently he's recovered quickly, so he's going to be here. But it's out there. This new variant is out there.
It's just a cold, bro.
Yeah, right. Cold symptoms.
We have the mask mandate fanatics in Los Angeles and Washington and New York. But in Los Angeles, they had doctors did a video, and they were saying, since February, only 10% of hospital admissions that tested positive for COVID were admitted because of COVID.
Right.
And virtually no one went into the IU.
Right.
Nobody's seriously ill. Mm-hmm. So it's
and we knew this at the time, and we were telling you on this show.
Yeah.
But now it's been revealed that many of these causes of death were not related to the COVID experience at all.
But then it was like 40%. Now it's like down to 10%. It's this is just a cold, bro, and everybody's going to get it. There's no sense wearing a mask.
Yep.
Running around outside. Take your vitamin D, which the government will never advise you to. And
it is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day.
Yep, exactly right.
So Joe didn't fare very well in the Middle East. He advised us in Israel that we have to honor the Holocaust each and every day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we talked about that on the show last week. Oops. Oops.
As far as we know, none. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia said, well, we're glad you came and groveled before us.
Yeah, that's right.
But we ain't got no oil for you.
He got on his knees is what he did.
Yes, he did.
We choose truth over facts.
It's please, sir, can I have some more oil?
Yeah.
Nah, it's already committed to Russia.
How do you say please in Arabic?
I don't know.
No. Should have thought of that before the show started.
Actually, Saudi Arabia is importing Russian oil.
Yeah, exactly.
They're using that for their energy production for domestic reasons, and then they're exporting all the rest of it.
Yep. Revenue is going east.
Yes, it is.
We're changing people's lives.
Yep. Sure are.
Now, Biden swears he told MBS that he was guilty of the crime of killing Khashoggi, but nobody can swear that they heard him say it.
No.
Unable to listen to the whole show, a recording of today's program will be available later today. Visit americamatters.us and click on the podcast link. Now, back to the show.
You know, Lee, I detect a disturbance in the force.
You do?
As millions of hoes mad.
Hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad, hoes mad.
So the biggest and the funniest hoes mad was AOC. And she got really mad at this comedian who calls himself at Alex Stein 99. You know, for catcalling her.
Yeah.
And
Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina.
His favorite?
Favorite.
Yeah.
And did you see the video?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was wearing a sexy dress. And when she walked up the stairs, you know, she really did have a big booty Latina.
So you're saying that inspired him?
That inspired him,
Okay.
yes.
Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina.
So apparently she called the police 5 times to have him arrested.
Capitol Police just sat there flat-footed,
Yeah.
she said.
At first, she thought it was funny. She came over and gave him the peace sign.
It looked that way.
Got into a selfie with him or something. But no, that's so. You know, he also said
She realized she was out of character.
Say what?
Well, you see, at the very beginning, when she was first walking up the stairs down below him, he said something about she wants to kill babies, but she's still my favorite.
Yes, I remember
And
that
then,
statement.
So then,
The full clip.
yeah, the full clip. So she probably saw the full clip then and erupted.
Oops.
Yep.
Has the planet gone mad?
That's a rhetorical question, by the way.
So she says, you know, the institution should stop people from talking to politicians in that way. It's always, but, you know, she just a few days ago, she tweeted out that people have an absolute right to harass Judge Kavanaugh at the steak store.
Yeah.
But
Nope.
not her.
But she practices the double standard quite often. So.
Yes. And then you were mentioning she and some other squad members were arrested at a demonstration to pack the court. And
The invisible handcuffs.
the invisible handcuffs.
Whatever, I'll do what I want.
She did give a fist bump, so
Oh,
you know.
she loved herself for that. She
Yes.
thought that was the cleverest thing. You could see it on her face. You know how the camera came in on her?
yeah. That's when she's most happy, when she can put herself out there. And she should have been in a dress, a formal gown that said, you know, pack the court, and
Something
red
like
letters
that.
on the back, you know.
Scientifically possible.
Now, there's another home ad that we came across this year, and that is Representative Kathy Porter, you know, the communist from California. And she had an ethics complaint filed on her by Heritage Foundation fellow Amy Swearer, because she, in the congressional hearing on gun control, Ms. Porter said that
Communists hate guns, don't they?
yeah, they do.
They hate us when we have guns.
Well, they hate when people own guns, not
Yeah.
when they own guns.
Yeah.
So she accused witness Amy Swearer of perjury for saying the assault weapon ban bill that was passed in the Congress, I think, and passed in the House.
In the
of
House,
course. Yeah, it's going to die in the Senate, hopefully. But would make instant felons of many Americans. So she said, no, that's true. This bill here actually grandfathers the assault weapons in for those who own them. Yeah, but it makes you so difficult to try to use them, and the
California
magazines are
didn't
gonna be
California
bad.
release the names of a lot of these gun owners
Yeah, they
recently?
did.
I
Yeah,
mean,
recently.
lent them to their own devices.
Yeah,
They're going to have to use the
but
guns.
they swore they wouldn't do that.
They're going to have to use the guns that
They
they
swore
own.
they would never do that. That's
Yeah.
strange that they
Huh.
would go back on their word.
Yep. So unusual for them.
But that's a common tactic now. I don't know if any of you have the time or the inclination to watch congressional hearings, but that's what the left is doing now. Anytime they ask a question, and then when the respondent, the witness, who's a conservative, tries to answer the question, they snap back at him. I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my time.
Oh, yeah.
And they won't let him answer the question.
Because it sounds so authoritative.
Yes. Well,
So-
it's just shutting them up. It's a form of censorship.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yes. And then they edit the videos just to make it look like the poor conservative had no answer. He was just stumbling for words.
Right.
But,
That's what they try to do, make us look bad.
Yeah.
They can't do that to us here on our show, but
No. Here we are in control. So anyway, in California, what they're doing to walk around the Supreme Court decision in Groon, was it, or was that I believe it was Groon, the concealed carry shall issue decision. What they're doing is they're making retail owners of gun stores
pay
ask,
yeah,
demand of the customer, will you ever use this, some kind of statement that you would never use this in a violent situation or in an unlawful situation. So then if a gun that's bought legally does commit a crime, which is kind of rare in itself, but if it is done in a way that the retail owners would be open to liability for selling them the gun.
Mm-hmm. That's how the end run around gun ownership.
Yeah.
Shut up and take my money.
In New York City, it's different. In New York City, they're getting around it by making everybody bring in character witnesses and surrender all their social media accounts for scrutiny and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's a good character designation, but
New York and California and Illinois are the best states examples for secession, don't you think?
Yes.
Just let them go. Let's see how far they get by themselves.
Right. But, Clarence Thomas' decision is you can't have a subjective standard. You have to have an objective standard, which defaults to you being able to carry a gun if you're of age. You're a member of the militia, in other words, understood as everybody over 18. And, I'm probably out of it now at my age, but I'm grandfathered in.
I think you are.
Literally.
Yeah. Literally grandfathered.
Yeah. So they're going to try, and it's going to take litigation. But the thing is, the more litigation they throw, eventually the fewer means of circumventing this is going to appear, because they're going to lose. I believe firmly they're going to lose these.
Well, if we keep using the courts properly, that's the way it should play out. Yeah. Same with the January 6th committee.
Yep. But, sometimes hoes can be good.
Can they?
Yeah. Kitty and the Gunsmoke, she was a
hoe. Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Hoes mad.
In Iran, the good hoes are mad. And this is kind of funny. They elected the new prime minister of Iran. Lacy is not racy at all. He's very socially conservative. So he said that July 12th was the day of hijab and chastity for the country.
They kind of go together.
We have gay pride. They have hijab and chastity pride.
Oh, hell no.
That sounds like one fun parade, doesn't it?
But, the Iranian women have been fighting this for years. And so they started posting videos on social media and they don't wear the full hijab, most of them. They wear just like a scarf, but backed up, halfway up the hairline and sunglasses in front of it. That's the way they get around it. But he wants them to cover the whole hair and plus the necks and shoulders. So they were going out on the street and taking off their hijab. And some of them got arrested, but it made for a lot of interesting videos. This Iranian women look pretty hot.
They really know how to protest over there, don't they?
Yeah.
And John Kirby, the new Security Council spokesperson, he says that an Iran deal, which they're working on feverishly, they want that deal in a worse way, will lower gas prices in the United States. Wink, wink.
Wink. Well, I don't know if they wanted it or not, but Biden was trying to organize a Gulf state security alliance, like a NATO.
Well, that's what Trump had with the Abraham Accords.
Not really. I mean, that never was fully implemented.
No, but that was the whole purpose.
It was the whole purpose.
Read the polls, Jack. You guys are all the same.
Yeah, the polls are looking good, but he came away empty-handed with that, just like he did with the oil, because most of these Gulf states are actually trying to come to better terms with Iran. They're negotiating for détente, and so I think the greatest ally in the Middle East is, got to worry a little bit more that. She may not get away with everything that she's been getting away with. I don't think we gave them the green light to attack Iran, which some people were thinking we would, but we'll have to see. And then Iran trolled Israel by saying, we have enough nuclear enrichment now to build a bomb.
Yeah.
Of course, so Israel is always panicking.
They're always 2 weeks off from the bomb, aren't they?
Yeah, I know. For 20 years, they've been 2 weeks away from the bomb.
Don't want to talk on the air? Text us your questions or comments to 775-237-2266. Now, back to the show.
Hey, welcome back to Talking Truth and Power. Did you know that there's a border skirmish going on in Ukraine? It's the 10th or so border skirmish
since 2014.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's also like the 10th border skirmish, if you step back and look at it, since the collapse of the Soviet Union, that when an empire collapses, chaos can reign.
Yeah, that's usually the end result,
Yeah. So
have you noticed that our caps have actually got little pictures of skulls on them?
Well, if you go to fight in a foreign country and your uniform has swastikas on the lapels and skulls, the German
might be an indication.
It might be an indication.
Yeah,
you might be on the wrong side.
It almost looks like a comic routine, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So Ukrainian prisoners are now telling Russians that there are kill brigades whose purpose is to prevent the Ukrainians from running away from the battle, sometimes by shooting them in the back. That's interesting to know. Didn't the communists...
Are we the baddie?
Yeah, I think we are the baddies. Yeah. The commies, remember Stalin? We said that
Heard
they
about
did
him.
that too.
Yeah.
That they would shoot Russian soldiers who tried to desert. But and then another UN report confirms that the Ukrainians do use people as human shields. Imagine that.
They do?
Yeah, they do. They in residential and public buildings. But I don't think the New York Times or the MSNBC or the Washington Post have actually reported.
They're just not aware of it. Maybe
that,
I know they'd report it if they knew.
Yeah, sure they would. Yeah. Because it's all the news that fits to print or whatever.
This is CNN.
Yeah, it sure is.
For example, they made a big deal out of an airstrike on in Venezia in western Ukraine, claiming it killed 30 innocent people, but then it was a private residence that Russia shelled, but it turned out to be the site of a meeting of high-level Ukrainian military and arms suppliers. So if there are military in the building, it's a military target. And they kicked some of the people out, but they left some of them in.
Did you know that Russia is still losing the war in Ukraine?
I heard a rumor to that effect.
There's an old new meme percolating over the internet today that Russia is losing in Ukraine. I'm telling you, that PR department over there just runs 24 hours, doesn't it?
We don't know. We don't know.
Well, Zelensky was, in the last few weeks, has been talking about how just like he's King Aragon from Lord of the Rings. I guess you didn't watch that movie.
I did not.
All right, well, King Aragon, they were losing. The good guys were losing in Lord of the Rings, and King Aragon went and got an army of the dead together, and they turned the tide of the war.
See, that ought to do it.
Yeah. So Ukraine has been bragging about how they're going to build a 1 million-man army.
In August, isn't it?
Yeah, in August. And
so it's coming right up.
Now they're kind of walking that back a little bit.
And that parallels what Kissinger said about Ukraine, that August would be the defining moment for them.
The war could be virtually over if by the end of August. Is what, and because they're right now they're trying to recapture the Donetsk region, and they already have Luhansk. They're trying to capture it, and there's basically 3 lines of defense, and they're working on the first line, and they're doing well, but it takes a little while because people don't realize when they think about how slow it's going for the Russian army, supposedly.
It's Pilgrim's Progress.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But they've had 8 years to dig in there. They're dug in there like the VC in Vietnam. They've got trenches all over the place, and so and also it's a highly industrial area. It's got hills and valleys and rivers running through it.
And CIA's on the ground.
Oh yeah,
they're there.
Well, we're going to get to that.
Okay,
they've got a target on them. But that's why it's taken so long. But once they get through this and they get to the Dnieper River, it becomes like a step. It's just clear sailing all the way to the west. Mm-hmm. So if Russia wants to, they could probably then launch a blitzkrieg action. In August or whatever, and go all the way through and capture Lviv, or at least Lviv is the most anti-Russian city in the Ukraine, and they erected a statue to Stepan Bandera, the Nazi collaborator, because he's a national hero for those people.
That's right.
So Russia could go there and tear down the statue and go, yeah, 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 yeah.
Then you'd have something.
Yes. So Ukraine is having some effect with the HIMARS and the multiple rocket launchers that we sent to them, but breaking up some Russian ammo dumps behind the lines. They can reach behind the front lines now with these. But the Russians are just going to concentrate on taking them out. And they have far more equipment to do that. And that's funny because the Russians would have a battle line drawn, and they'd be attacking all along the line. And then suddenly they realize that some of the battalions in this area are Nazis. They're Right Guard or Azov or something. And then all the cannon fire suddenly shifts to hit those people.
You know what I think?
What?
I think time's on their side.
I think so. They still keep claiming they're going to run out of rockets, but they still produce them.
But you see, Mrs. Zelensky is addressing the United States Congress today, so they have to put up their best front, while she's here. That's what this is about.
Oh yeah, she met with Dr. Jill when
she met
Dr.
with Jill
was over there,
and a whole bunch of other people were in that room too. Yeah.
Okay. I wonder what she's going to come up with.
Well, there's a whole lot of money at stake here.
Yeah,
Then at least speak English.
Yeah.
We can't rebuild our economy and meet this climate crisis.
No, we can't. Speaking of that, he's addressing that issue today in Massachusetts. He's flown
the climate crisis
to Nantucket or somewhere there, and there's about 20 people there. They're so concerned about the climate emergency.
Yes, that's what he's trying to declare.
Because they are running out of time.
Yeah.
According to AOC, they have like 7-8 years left now or something?
Yeah, that's John Kerry's dictum.
Yeah.
He doesn't have enough time, so that's why he has to keep jetting around on these private jets,
I see.
using up all this.
I was wondering why he was doing that.
He's a very important man. He's saving the planet.
You know the thing.
He can't be burdened by commercial air travel.
No.
You can't burden him with that.
No. And then he also...
We're changing people's lives.
Then sometimes he gets in trouble. I think he got in trouble a couple of times when he was flying commercial.
Oh, okay.
He said mean things to somebody or something.
I'm sure that was the exception.
Yeah. And Zelensky is purging the government of Russian spies. He dismissed the head of security and his attorney general. And you know what? We have a Ukrainian-born congresswoman, Victoria Spartz.
She went off
from Indiana.
She went off on Goldberg, didn't she?
Yes.
Or Greenberg. Is it Greenberg?
I think it's Goldberg. Or was it?
Goldberg is Russian for Zelensky.
Zelensky, yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, that was upsetting to the pro-Ukrainian lobby in D.C.
No, the GOP is very worried now that the grift to the military-industrial complex might slow down.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's joining Rand Paul in asking for oversight over the, all the goodies we're sending them. But pretty soon they're all going to be all over the Middle East. We're going to see a commercial airline shut down or something of that nature from all these weapons.
Well, there's surface-to-air missiles all over the planet.
Yeah.
Rand Paul has made it very clear that a lot of these failures in foreign intervention have resulted in the weaponry just scattering all over the planet. So who knows where they are? It's frightening. I'm glad I'm not flying anymore.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I worked in the airline industry and I have lifetime flight benefits, but the
can't use them?
the airlines are sunk. Yeah. So Russia's killing 1,000 Ukrainians a day over the last couple of weeks, and like you said, they're aware the CIA is over there, and they're going to start hunting them down too.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start seeing as some of our people get hit, as well as the British and the others that have decided to train people or fight in the army. Now, it's according to the word. I think the message was conveyed by the Serbian president that as soon as he captures the most important battle line, I think it's the third battle line, which contains the cities Sloviansk and Kramatorsk. Kramatorsk is where the Ukrainians shelled and they killed about 50 civilians a few weeks ago. Putin will come out and make a final offer to Ukraine. And the West probably already has the offer. Serbia probably already gave them the gist of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the West is going to turn it down. I mean, President Zelensky continues to say that, we have to keep on fighting until the occupiers are out of our land. So if we give them long-range missiles, they promise not to attack Russia, but they don't think Crimea is part of Russia.
Well, the Senate just rejected Rand Paul's affirmation of the Constitution this morning. He said all of my amendment said was NATO's obligations don't supersede the Constitution requirement that Congress declare war. How is this controversial?